Welcome back to Demo, the show where we demo the demos from the latest games coming to PC and consoles this year. Today we're taking a look at Slice and Dice, a turn-based party battler centered around a dice-rolling mechanic with roguelike upgrades and an increasing difficulty. Let's check it out. Arm your warriors with attacks determined by their specific dice rolls and manage incoming attacks in a Slay the Spire style format with intricate synergies and evolving combinations. The entire package for Slice and Dice feels very well put together, from great pixel character art to beautifully drawn backgrounds and environments. The game style fits very nicely with the presentation and feels right at home on the Nintendo Switch. The grim dark medieval aesthetic is well done here, and all of the game assets feel integrated in a way that gels the game together. Everything moves with a nice weight and flow to it, but doesn't break that retro pixel art feeling. Well-placed design has the battlefield feeling tense and fun throughout. The UI is very well done. It has a lot of information that has to be tightly packed into a small space in order to convey important things to the player. This can initially be confusing in the first playthrough. Thankfully, the tutorial uses easy-to-understand text explanations, and the game has a nice tooltip system that explains all the symbology. Everything moves and snaps into position in a way that clearly translates exactly what's going on in the game. The music for Slice and Dice fits the project perfectly and sets the stage for a dark fantasy adventure. I found myself engaged in battles and even nervous during tense fights due to the 16-bit inspired epic score. Mystical lutes and foggy brass instrumentation command a very Lord of the Rings / Dungeons and Dragons atmosphere. All of the little blips and clicks were satisfying and added weight to the game. I never found myself getting tired or annoyed by the sound effects throughout, and they accommodate every action, from the dice clacking to the sword slashing and even the equipping of gear. It all had a nice snappy polish to it that sounded great in the headphones. Together, the music and sound effects work well and play off each other to create a fun and exciting experience, reminiscent of an old tabletop board game with friends on a Friday night as a kid. The controls for Slice and Dice are simple and direct, with a mouse-only approach. You can't really go wrong with the control scheme on a game like this. Sometimes simpler is just better. Everything you think you can click is clickable. From tooltips to stat displays, every important piece of information that you need to see is easily accessible for you to map out your strategy each turn. You might get your left and right mouse actions confused here and there, but thankfully it's pretty hard to waste a turn without seeing it coming first. As with most of the meta strategy games, the skill lies in your understanding of the buffs and debuffs and incoming and outgoing attacks. Synergizing a turn can be very enjoyable, and the fact that you might waste a turn by trying to get that perfect dice roll adds a much-needed stroke of luck to the game that could ultimately leave you victorious or in ruins. Using a tried-and-true method of battle, reward, upgrade, repeat, you'll find yourself itching to win rounds just to see what new attacks and items you can add to your arsenal to survive the stronger waves of enemies and bosses that the game throws at you. A good roguelike will always give you tough choices to make that leave you wondering what if, and Slice and Dice is no different. Thankfully, the runs feel inconsequential and progress quickly, so losing isn't a huge setback, and you can easily get through a run swiftly if you like. Being a roguelike of course sets this game up for longevity. Slice and Dice doesn't reinvent the wheel, but does offer a decent amount of content that you will likely not get to see in your first 5 minutes. So you will be wanting to have that one last run that makes the genre so appealing. We have seen DICE used more recently with the advent of these gambling-light games that have been coming out. Following the random chance of your typical casino games that use decks of cards or random number generators always makes for an unpredictable and fun time. Rolling the dice to determine what attacks your characters can use is a nice way to add some spontaneity and surprise to the game runs that doesn't feel unfair or stacked against you, as the game's attack options and classes seem to be implemented with good balance testing. I had a ton of fun just in this quick demo play. I went in with my usual hesitance, but quickly found myself interested in figuring out how this game worked. It uses the DNA of well-known game styles while keeping things fresh with a new spin that I found myself engaging with almost immediately. Rolling dice is always fun, and seeing what attacks you can combine was a seriously enjoyable time, even though I ultimately lost to a tough mini-boss fight due to my own bad luck. Slice and Dice has its strengths in the absolutely engaging quick-run-based battling system, with tons of care and polish put into it. From the sounds to the graphics, the game is well made and the battle system is fun and easy to sink into. Its cons, however, lie in the fact that it has a mildly confusing first few minutes due to a limited space for the text interface. Thankfully, the learning curve is very easy to adjust to. Beyond that, I really had no issues with this lovely little dice-based battler. This game is a definite buy I would highly recommend. I genuinely found myself exclaiming when a tough battle was won and sucking my teeth when I made a foolish mistake that cost me a run. This is a gem that I didn't expect to find. Please do yourself a favor if you're a fan of the Slay the Spire style or other similar games of this genre. This one is a treat, and I can't wait to purchase it and sink some free time into trying to beat it. Slice and Dice is currently priced at $8.99 and was released March 20 of 2024, so it's available now for you to go and check out, and I highly suggest you do so. Thank you for watching this episode of Demo. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one.